It's widely said that despite being home to lions, hyenas, elephants, all that, the deadliest animal in Africa is the hippopotamus. Is that true? No. Roll credits. Okay, we need more than that for a full-length video, don't we? The first problem is sources aren't clear what record the hippo is supposed to hold. Is it deadliest animal, deadliest large mammal, deadliest herbivore? You can find all these and more. This should not fill one with confidence. Second, let's deal with definitions. When we say deadliest, we mean deadliest to humans, not to animals, plants, whatever. Limiting ourselves to humans, hippos are definitely not the deadliest animal in Africa. Mosquitoes exist, as do other humans. Dogs also, and while hard numbers are difficult to come by, there's simply no way rabies infections from dog bites kill fewer people than hippos. So let's limit our examination to what the fact actually is. Of the animals a generic Westerner thinks of when they think of Africa, hippos are the deadliest. Is that true? It's often said that hippos kill between 500 and 3,000 people a year. Those the authors of one paper on hippo deaths note it's not at all clear where that number actually comes from. Going to actual studies, there's one paper called Human-Wildlife Conflict in Mozambique. It looked at official records and found that out of 265 deaths in the study period, half were killed by crocodiles. Okay, how about large mammals? 31 deaths were caused by elephants, 24 by lions, and 12 by hippos. Or a more recent study called Mapping Human Fatalities from Megafauna to Inform Coexistence Strategies, which looked at Zimbabwe. In their study period, hippos killed 20 people, elephants killed 103 people, and crocodiles were still the most. Now, to be fair, there are other studies, like one that examined Zambia, found that of the animals they looked at, crocodiles were still the deadliest, but now followed by hippos, who killed 65 people during the study period. Two more than elephants. Except it's worth pointing out that Zambia has a substantial percentage of the world's hippo population, with one study saying it has about half of southern Africa's hippos in the country. They have a much smaller population of elephants, whereas Mozambique has about the same number of hippos and elephants. So really, the evidence suggests elephants are deadlier to humans. So why do we think it's hippos? A big problem with this kind of fact is that it's not meant for examination. The sources that give it are bad YouTube videos, taking from blogs, taking from big books of fun fact. These are not sources that have a robust citing tradition. It's literally, I heard it from a friend, isn't that crazy? And because you'd kind of expect the animal to be a lion or a crocodile or even an elephant, hearing that it's the cute hippo lodges in your brain and becomes that perfect hey, did you know fact. And it's been a good hey, did you know fact for a long time. I've unambiguously gotten it to at least the 1950s. Before then, pretty much anyone who gave a deadliest non insect animal put it at the crocodile. But in the 1950s, you start seeing that change. For example, newspaper let's call him publisher for the sake of space, Barry Bingham Jr., proclaimed that the awkward looking, clumsy hippopotamus kills more people every year in Africa than any of the other dangerous game animals. Except it's not that simple, because it's never that simple. He goes on to explain that let's be honest, he says that hippos aren't dangerous to the white man because white hunters have guns. But Africans go out in hollowed out logs with their spears to hunt hippos, and because they can't swim, the hunters often get killed. Let's ignore minor details like whether or not we believe him. In his story, hippos are uniquely dangerous in the 1950s because of hunting techniques of the locals. Do we really believe that's still going to be the case decades later? No, obviously not. But I don't know if that created the myth. It seems unlikely, to be honest. It might be getting us closer to the actual origin of the story. According to a study in Uganda, leopard attacks on humans had a 32.5% fatality rate. Lion attacks on humans had a 74.9% fatality rate. Hippos had an 86.7% fatality rate. Probably less to do with them being hyper aggressive or anything, and more, in the words of the study authors, the danger of drowning when fishes were attacked by hippopotami. But even then, the study authors found hippo-caused fatalities were pretty rare, lagging far behind buffaloes and also behind elephants. It was just a higher percentage of attacks were fatal. It's easy to imagine then that people come back with stories of surviving lion attacks, of surviving elephant attacks, but noticeably fewer people are coming back with stories of surviving hippo attacks. And then hippos start developing an outsized reputation for danger. It's a theory. That theory might be wrong, but it's the only explanation I have that remotely works. So while I remain uncommitted to the origin of the fact, at least in the 50s, they attempted to explain the hippos kill more people story. And as the years go on, you get what I sometimes call fact inflation, where fairly narrow fact gets bigged up in the retelling. So from deadliest dangerous game animal to deadliest mammal to deadliest animal. And with each retelling, there's even less attempt to explain it, and it just becomes a fact that gets repeated. With Often with some vague hand-waving assertion of how territorial hippos are, which males can be territorial in the water, but I'm not seeing evidence they're uniquely territorial. Indeed, one paper says that males are territorial only in the water and females are non-territorial. As for where the 500 deaths per year comes from, no idea. Well, it comes from a BBC article, but where they got it from is mysterious. My slight suspicion is that someone read a report about how elephants kill 500 people a year and thought, well, right, if hippos are the deadliest animal, they must be more than elephants, so it must be more than 500 per year. I won't be drawn into whether the elephant number is accurate, but proper studies looking at human fatalities find often single-digit numbers per year of hippos killing people. The math simply doesn't work to support such large numbers. But that doesn't matter. The same, I heard that from a friend, isn't that crazy forces that have helped this piece of trivia circulate for 70 years are still there and will remain.